All right, so good morning, everyone. Seems like many students are coming, so let us wait for 5 minutes for others come to the conference. Morning, yeah, thank you.
Morning, teacher. Okay.
Yeah, so we're starting at 10:05. So actually today there should be at least 23 students or 24 to 23 students, but not many are here, not many are present. So even though, okay, one more person. And actually tomorrow's groups are also being connected, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys. Yeah, can anybody tell me if you are Monday's group or Tuesday's group for the lecture?
Oh, teacher, but you said that those who have a lesson on Tuesday will have on Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just double checking who is from Tuesday, because many from Monday are not present. So I'm just thinking if I should monitoring who is absent and who's present. Okay, Monday, mostly of guys from Monday, as I see. All right, anyways, I will talk to the dean and talk to your advisors, probably advisors of those students who are not present will be doing something. I mean, those who are not present, the Monday guys, the real Monday guys, whose schedule consists the Monday lecture, not Tuesday. Guys who are struggling to enter from the Tuesday, I'm not telling anything to them because like it's okay. You may have some lessons or lectures at the moment. All right. Okay. But thank you very much that you can do it, that you are present today. I'm very happy that you guys are here. Sorry, I'm not feeling good enough to turn on the videos. I hope you don't mind if I will be just talking. I'm scheduled on Tuesday, but okay, yeah. So I'm not really feeling good today. Yeah, I hope you will be okay with that. So remember I was talking about some small units of the language. Oh, thank you very much, Lucia. About the smallest units of the language, and you were guys talking about words mainly. But actually, word is not the smallest unit of the language. Can anybody give the definition about the word? Yeah, morpheme, absolutely. What about word? What is
Just like in the context or for the meeting and as a part of the communicative discourse.
Absolutely great. Yeah. Yeah, seems like Laura read a book. Thank you very much. Yeah, great. Well done. Wonderful definition for that. Okie dokie. So, yeah. So words are mainly about semantics, mainly about meaning. So we use words in order to provide some kind of meaning. We give meanings to some kind of words. And nowadays there is a constant process of word formation in modern English because there is a need to there is a huge need to form the new words that may somehow explain some kind of meanings that we carry out in our heads, in our cognition, right? And you probably know that in the last decade there appeared so many words. What kind of new neologisms do you guys know? Here is the question, yeah, from me to you guys. So there is an urgent need, yeah, right? We are some words are deriving out of urgent need to give some kind of connotation or context. And you may probably know new words that were formed in the last decades. What are some
Maybe
words that you know?
coronavirus.
Yeah, coronavirus,
Spam, for example.
Coronavirus
spam,
19.
spam from the 20th century, but yeah, okay. What about 21st century? What kind of neologisms do you know? So mainly they are the newest neologisms are mainly connected with internet.
The words like selfie, right?
Great, yeah, selfie. Absolutely. What else?
Emoji.
Emoji, yeah, well done. Well done. Yep. Any others that you know? Mhm. Any ideas, guys?
Well, SMS.
SMS, yeah, this is the abbreviation to Google, absolutely to Google. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. Good morning, yeah, everyone, good morning. To Google, yeah, Jules, thank you very much. DM, yeah, this is kind of a new word as well, but it was shortened. Absolutely. So we actually have so many words, right? So many new words. And yeah, podcast. Absolutely, podcast. Yeah, great. So we have many of them. Webinar. Absolutely. Yeah, great. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being active. So we actually have so many of them. So actually a lot of them. And did you notice that those words are being constructed by morphemes that already existed? For instance, the word selfie. In the word selfie, morpheme itself already existed, right? And the affix IE somehow helped to form a new word. Yeah, so this is why we should know about morphemes, about their types, about the structure of the morphemes. So it will be easy for us to form new words or to be able to understand the structure of the words. Okay, so actually today in the content, we're going to talk about morphemes and their division. Then we will just switch to the process affixation. And in the end, we will look at the process of derivation. So what is derivation? Derivation is the term for the verb formation. So when you see the word derivation, it means that it means the process of verb formation. That's it. Nothing difficult about it. And we will look at the types of derivation. Okay. Well, so morphemes. We have morphemes. We know that the morphemes are the smallest units of the language, right? But we don't really think about morphemes that deep, yeah? So now we are going to talk about morphemes quite deeper. And sometimes morphemes, not sometimes, always, to be honest, morphemes cannot be divided. So because it is the smallest unit of the language, it cannot be divided. Yeah. And the very interesting thing about the morpheme is that morphemes do not occur as free forms, but only as the constituents of words. They are like helpers for words, some kind of additional helpers for words. Yeah? Yet, the very interesting thing that morphemes itself, they may have or they may possess meaning by standing itself. So they possess the meaning of their own. Yeah. For instance, we will have a look at the word post-impressionist, and we'll have a look at it, right? Okay. So, for example, if we just have a look at the word, suffix full, what do you imagine when you hear or see the suffix full? For example, in words as beautiful,
That it's the
Adjective.
that it is the adjective. Yeah. What about meaning?
Something is full of
That
that thing.
absolutely. Yeah, Marjan, well done. So full is usually means itself as full of something. So when something is full of something, yeah. Okay. So let's just have a look at the external, like say, the external structure of the word post-impressionist. Okay, so we have prefixes post and im. Yeah, we know them. The root, pres, the noun forming suffixes yon and ist, and the grammatical suffix of plurality. S, we all know about S, right? So these are all morphemes. The prefix is a morpheme, the root itself is a morpheme, the suffix is a morpheme, the grammatical suffix or ending, as we call it, is also a morpheme. Yeah. But this is it. The morphemes do not occur as free forms. They are constituents of words. We can't say that they are free. They cannot be used independently, but with somehow it's kind of a addition to some roots to stems. All right. Okie dokie, good. Right, now let's just have a look at the, oh wow, let me just do it like that. So morphemes, there are two features of morphemes, like semantic point and structural point. Now we are going to look at the semantic point division. In terms of semantic point, we have roots or like differently we call it radicals, and affixes differently they are called non-root morphemes. So what is so interesting about root and affixes? So root is actually the lexical nucleus of a word. It's a center of the word, let's say, and it is common to a set of words that make up a lexical word cluster. For instance, the word act, the root act, can be a root in all words that are connected somehow, semantically or grammatically. For instance, act, active, inactive, actor, action. So as you see in all those words, the root is a let's say a heart of it, right? You can't form a word without a root. Yeah. And we have also stems. What about stems? Stems are quite interesting things. Now I'm talking about stems first. I don't know why, but I would like to talk about them first. Actually, stem is a, let's say, they are conceived with roots, and we have different types of stems. Actually, stem is a, oh God, how to call it? It's a part of the word that remains unchanged in all the forms. In all the forms. So they remain unchanged in all of its forms. For instance, darken is a stem, right? And it is not changing, nor grammatically, nor semantically, nor graphically. So darken, darkens, darkened. So the word itself, the stem itself, is being unchanged in here. What about prefix? We actually all know, right, about prefixes. Prefix is something that is preceding the root. It is coming before the roots, yeah, and they are serving as some morphemes that provide some new meaning and form new words, as well as suffixes that follow the root. They are coming after the root mainly, right? Yeah. So actually, we all know about prefixes, suffixes, stems, right? And as well as about roots. So this is like a semantic point of morphemes. Yet we have different types of stems. We have simple stems. So what is about simple stems? Simple stems, they coincide with roots. They are like they are like the same thing in the, as the root in words. So in the word trees, both stem and the root is the word tree. So we are not taking into account s in the end, and the word read as well, right? So they're same things. What about derived ones? Derived stems are the stems that contain one or more affixes. So actually affix is the any kind of a additional supplication. So affixes can be prefixes, affixes can be suffixes, both suffixes and prefixes. So if you see any kind of a root plus suffix or prefix, then it is a derived stem. So for instance, in the word govern is government, ment is a suffix and govern is a root, as well as in the word teacher. The root is a verb teach and er is the suffix. Yeah? What about binary stems? The binary stems, they comprise two simple or derived stems, and they are usually also called compound stems. Not only binary, also compound. For instance, ex-film star, schoolboy. As you may see here, we have more than one stem. And also we have prefixes in the word ex-film star. Ex is a prefix, film and star are the stems. So you see, the more it is, the more difficult. Good morning, I will be here with Idea Sanitary. Okay, good. So it is quite an easy thing. I think we had such things, had such let's say morphological units in Kazakh as well as in Russian, right? Remember the subject of Kazakh or Russian at school we used to talk about, right? Prefix, suffix, знак, жалгал. Yeah, hope you remember about it. Okay, right. So now we are going to have a look at the structural point. In structural point, we are defining three types of morphemes. They are free morphemes, they are bound morphemes, and they are semi-free morphemes. So what is the difference between those three? Free morphemes, they can stand alone as a word. Yeah. For instance, they are mainly the root morphemes only. For instance, the word friend in friendship, in friendly, in friends, yeah, they are like the morphemes that can be a word itself, independent words. What about bound ones? The bound morphemes are only constituent part of words, so they can be prefixes or suffixes, so they cannot stand alone as a separate word. For instance, in here we are given a prefix in the word rewrite. So re itself, the prefix re cannot be a independent word itself. You can't just say re as a word. You can't use it as a word, right? You can use it only with the stem or with the root. Yeah. Okay, semi-free. So semi-free is a very interesting one. Also, we call it semi-bound morphemes. They can function both as affixes and both as the free morphemes. For instance, the word after is given here, right? After is actually a preposition, right? Or sometimes it can, guys, do you see the presentation? It's only the first slide. Can't you see the structural point according to their function and all that stuff? You can see this?
Yep.
Yes, okay. Okay, good. Probably someone's network is lagging. That's the reason they are seeing only the first page. All right, so semi. So you in semi-free or bound or semi-bound, sorry. You just you see the morphemes that can be both like independent words and affixes as well. So both independent and non-independent. For instance, after. So after, it can be a preposition, it can be a preposition for time, for place, yeah. I don't remember what else, what kind of features does it have. And it also can bound into other words, into other roots or stems, and form a new meaning in new words. The same with the word man. What can you tell about the word man, the morpheme man, sorry? Any comments on the morpheme man, M-A-N? All right. So the morpheme man can be used as an independent word, right? man, it is a male human, yeah, or male person. And for instance, the chairman, it doesn't mean that it is a chair person. It has some kind of a different semantics. It has different semantical feature. So actually, there are many semi-free or semi-bound morphemes that can be both affixes and and uh, and individual words, independent individual words. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So now let's just go into the function of the morphemes. So according to their function, morphemes can be derivational or functional. So what is derivational? As I have mentioned in the beginning of the lecture, derivation, the word derivation goes to, not goes to, it means the process of word formation. Everything about word formation is called derivation or derivational. So you just remember that thing, okay, guys? So right. So some morphemes can play derivational function where they are helping to form some kind of new meaning. So for instance, in the word happiness, ness is a morpheme, it's a suffix that help to form a new meaning, a new word out of the root happy, yeah, or unhappy also. The prefix on, derivational prefix on, help to form different meaning, the negative meaning here. And the functional, actually functional is not, it's more of a grammatical thing. It's like providing us the grammatical functions. So it's not giving any meaning, but some kind of a, let's call it, I can't really explain it, but you just probably understand it logically, that everything that is any kind of suffixes and that or affixes that are connected to grammatical meaning of the affixes, suffixes, and prefixes, they are called now. The affix that is denoting uh, the tense of the word. Yeah, so it's denoting that the word is put in the past tense. So this is the functional one. So actually itself, they cannot provide any meaning. They are only serving some kind of grammatical function. Yeah. Okay. Right. Is teacher lagging? I guess so. I guess so, because the internet at the university is not good enough. So now we are talking about words, actually, not about morphemes, but words. So in English, in modern English, words fall into four main structural types. They are simple words, they are derived words, they are compound words, and they are derivational compounds. So let's just talk about them. Let's just talk about them individually. So what about simple? Simple words, or as we call them, root words, they have only a root morpheme in their structure, only a root. For instance, the word house or room, they have only one root. House itself is a root. Room is itself is a root as well. This type is widely represented by a great number of words, and they usually belong to the original native English stock, or to earlier borrowings, the earlier loan words. Yeah, and also the simple words in English are has been enlarged. The number of them has been enlarged by the process of conversion. So we will talk about the process of conversion in the next lecture, I think. I mean, in the second part of the lecture. Right, and also there are some kind of derived words or derivatives, yeah. They are words that consist of root and one or more affixes, yeah. For instance, the word joyful. So joy is a root and full is a suffix, or retail, tell is a root and re is a prefix. So this is a derived words. And compound ones. These are words in which two or more stems are combined into a lexical unit or into a word. For example, the word classroom or snow white. Yeah. And very interesting thing, interesting word, forget me not. Yeah, mainly about heartbreak times, forget me not. So these are the compound ones. So compound, again, I'm repeating, those who have two or more stems. What about derivational compounds? These are the, let's say, phrase components, and they are joined together by some kind of compounding plus affixation process. Yeah, for instance, long-legged honeymooner. As you may see here, we see phrases as long and leg plus ed. So there happens a compounding. They are like compound words, but in compound words there are two stems mainly. But in derivational compounds, you should just plus affixes. Yeah. So it's like a compound words plus affixes. This is a derivational compounds. Okay. So now we are going to turn to affixation. So affixation is a word formative process, and in that very process, words are mainly created by adding word building affixes to roots. So it may include prefixation, so putting, plussing, prefix, or suffixation, adding suffixes, yeah. And from the etymological point of view, actually affixes are classified according to their origin. And we have two large groups there. They are native and borrowed. For instance, ing, er, on means they are native affixes. They are native suffixes and prefixes. And the borrowed one, shen, ment, anti, a, they are borrowed ones. They came from different languages. Yeah, and also we classify affixes into productive ones and non-productive ones. We'll talk about non-productive ones a bit later, or productive and non-productive ones a bit later. And also there is one more classification of not affixes but suffixes. So as we know, suffixes, both suffixes and prefixes, they derive a new part of a speech. And suffixes are distinguished as noun forming suffixes, adjective forming suffixes, verb forming suffixes, and adverb forming suffixes. You may probably know that a verb forming suffix is ly, yeah? You know it for sure. Okay, now we are going to talk about the etymological side of suffixes. Well, the suffixes that you see here are native ones. Yeah, the noun forming as er, ness as in coldness or loneliness. Ing, of course, is a native English one, like meaning, singing. Dom, freedom, wisdom, hood, motherhood, childhood, ship, friendship, and mastership, and th, lens, truth, etc., etc. Adjective forming: full, careful, less, careless, cozy. Yeah, in cozy it's y, just y, cozy, snowy. Ish, English, childish. Actually, English, it all says by itself, right? English. Ly, ugly, lovely. Do not forget that ly can be also an adjective forming suffix, not only adverb forming one. En, wooden, woolen, and some. Handsome, tiresome. So actually, some is a very interesting suffix. It can be, it is the suffix that can be both independent and non-independent, like not as a supplementary. Sorry. And the verb forming: en, widen, darken, and verb forming ly, warmly, simply. So guys, I would like to say that these suffixes, like native I didn't present all the native suffixes in here. You will find them if you just Google them, like native English suffixes, you will find many of them there. Yeah, so, okay, good. Borrowed ones, borrowed affixes, we all love them. They sound very unique, they are very beautiful in pronunciation, and mainly those suffixes and affixes, borrowed ones, they came from Latin. Yeah, let's just look at the Latin affixes. Noun forming: yon, like opinion, union; shun, revolution, starvation. As verb forming one: aid, like create, appreciate; you'd, distribute, contribute; and actually this is a prefix, disable or disagree. As well as adjective forming: able, curable, detestable, aid, accurate, graduate, and constant, important, and absent, convenient. So actually I'm not going to talk about them. Yeah, you can read them when you will be studying the subject yourselves individually. And French affixes: noun forming: hands, arrogance, endurance. Such beautiful words, right? Arrogance, endurance, ends, consequence, patience, men, development, experiment. I just love French borrowed words and French borrowed affixes. And verb forming ones: the prefixes en, enable, endeavor. I guess the prefix n in French sounds different, right? How does it sound in French, by the way, guys? Hello? Anyone? Can you hear me? Hello? Any students who are taking French as the second language? Yeah, are you listening to me, guys? Yeah. No, just Korean. Okay. Yeah, so that would be lovely if you could tell me how the prefix N is being pronounced in French. If you turn on your microphones and tell me. No, okay. Seems like no one is in the mood. It's a nasal. I don't know how it is pronounced in nasal one. If you could just turn on the microphone and tell us. Anyone? Any volunteers? Dilara, could you please demonstrate us how it is in French? No one? Oh wow, that's very sad. Okay, very, very much sad. Oh wow, sorry. I was going to talk about productive and non-productive affixes. So affixes also are classified into productive and non-productive. So productive affixes take part in deriving new words, and in modern English, the many affixes are playing a particularly important role. Yeah, and non-productive are, as you may understand, the ones that are not producing new words anymore, right? And the productive affixes are often found among the neologisms. You can find them easily. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about conversion. So what is conversion? Conversion is the process, so one of the most productive processes in modern English word building. So how it is happening? Conversion is when you make a new word from an existing one by changing the category of the part of speech. For instance, the word nurse. Actually, the word nurse is a noun by itself, right? But the conversion happened and the noun nurse became the verb nurse. So, to nurse. So what does to nurse mean, guys? Hello? What does word nurse and to nurse mean? They are actually different ones. They have actually different characteristics in semantics. Nurture. Yeah, kind of, yeah. So actually to care, yeah, absolutely. To care, to take care, to nurture the patients or the little children, yeah. Babies, infants, as we call them. Yeah. And conversed breastfeeding. Oh wow, I didn't know that it has such a meaning. Right. Also, the main interesting thing that the conversed words usually have different grammatical structure, no structure, features again, in comparison with the original word. Yeah. So nurse as a noun can be plural. It may have possessive case. Yeah. Whereas to nurse as a verb, it can be used for the third person singular. It may have, and can have past simple and past participle endings, as well as gerund and present participle endings, ing. So they have different functions, different features. You shouldn't forget about it. So more about conversion. So if you remember, for instance, I'm going to provide you an example. Yeah, there is like what? Yes, there is like the mother nursed her child. Oh wow, I didn't know about it. Thank you, Khadija. For instance, the word yellow, right? Yellow is usually associated with color mainly in our heads, right? Yet we have a verb for the word yellow, to yellow. Yeah. For instance, yellow leaves, or leaves with the leaves yellowed. The roads, for instance. It means that it's the when the adjective yellow became the verb yellow. The second one, the converted unit, became no longer denoting color, but it is denoting the process of change in color. It's not about the as an adjective, after adjective becomes converted into the verb, it is losing its primal semantic meaning and it's getting another meaning. But anyway, that meaning will have some kind of connection to the primer to original word, yeah, as it happened with nurse and to nurse, or yellow or to yellow. For instance, you will see the conversion in O. Henry's Little Speck and Garnet Fruit. Did anybody read the little novels of O. Henry? Anyone who enjoyed the novels? I love O. Henry. Yeah, I just love uh, his wonderful novels. They are so short, easy to read, but so interesting, so appealing for me.
Right? Like this is like his, I think, story. They give to the Magi.
Sorry, Laura, I could not hear you because of the internet connection.
I mean, there is like a short story. We read it like during the first year, The Gift of the Magi.
Oh, wow.
Yes, this one.
Wow, great, great. For myself, my favorite one is The Last Leaf. If you read it, guys, that's a very wonderful novel, very touching. Okay, so we are now looking at the conversion in the Little Speck in Garnet Fruit. So let's just have a look at the word orange here. There is written, if anybody oranges me tonight, I will knock his face out. So what was the situation in here? So actually, the hero of the story was quite annoyed by a shop assistant, because shop assistant was offering him oranges for many times. So when the hero was asking for peaches, the shop assistant was giving and offering him oranges. So he, the hero of O. Henry, conversed the noun orange into a verb. So he used it as a verb, and he said, if anybody oranges me again, by to orange he meant if someone is going to torture me by offering oranges over and over again, right? So this is a very interesting thing, isn't it? Very, very funny one. Yeah, and you can find many of such conversions, or probably you are making such conversions in your daily speech, both in your second language and your mother tongue as well. Personally, I do love playing with words, yeah, and sometimes I just form new words out of nowhere. I just making some kind of conversions. Yeah. Okay. And the conversed ones, the conversed words are called compositions. We are now going to the composed like words are called compounds. So what is composition? What is the process of composition? So composition is like a type of word building process in which new words are produced by combination of two or more stems. So if you're combining stems, yeah, this is the process. The process is called composition. And the compounds is the result of composition. Right, teacher? Oh wow, yeah, it's break time. Okay, we will be talking about composition in the next part. Right. Thank you for reminding me about the break. Thank you. See you in 10 minutes then. Guys, we're starting in 5 minutes. Okay, not everyone is here, but still, we'll be continuing. Okay, all right. Can you hear me well now? Everyone?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? Okay, good, good, good. So, we were talking about compounds, and we have different types of compounds according to the structure, right? So, we have words proper. These are the compounds that consist of simple stems, right? Like bookshelf, Snow White, Tip Top. Simple. Remember what is simple stem? Simple stem, that is a stem that consists only of the root, any kind of root, with no affixes, right? And the second one is derived or derivational compounds. These are the compounds where at least one of the components is derived stem. So one of them has one of the stems are the stems with affixes. For instance, here in the word chain smoker, chain itself is a root, smoke is a root, and er here is the suffix. You see, as well as the blue-eyed. Ed is the functional stem in here. Oh, sorry, affix in here. Right, compounds of 3 or more stems, the same thing. There are at least one of the components is a kind of a, sorry, is a where at least one of the stems of the components is a compound stem. For instance, waste paper basket. Yeah, you see, one of them, one of the compounds in here are the compound stems. You may see. So again, the difficult simple, something in the middle, and the more difficult. And now it's let's say the sophisticated one. It's the compounds with shortened stems, with the shortening words like abbreviation or any kind of shortenings. For instance, T-shirt, yeah, or VD, V-Day, sorry, or Eurodollar. So you may see here there is example shortening plus the stem, the normal full stem, not shortened. This is the compounds with shortened stem. Actually, that's about composition, about compounds. Nothing very difficult. Classification of compounding to the going together. We have neutral. The neutral compounds is the like a neutral composition is the process of compounding. Connection, you may see there is no there is no kind of a just next to stems, morphological compounds, morphological in their structure. Sorry, morphology. We also have that in Russian. Mistaken. The same thing. Letter O have syntactic compounds with I see in here 4 is a preposition form mother in law also in is a preposition, right? On the sixes you see here, and derivational derived compounds like music lover, you may see that the affixes present structure of those compounds, and the contracted compounds or shortened compounds. You may see the shortened words, shortenings as T, B, or H bag. Maybe we said H bag. Yeah, quite easy, isn't it? All right, let's go to the. Oh, my computer is lagging. Oh no, no, please. Well, right, one moment. Okay. Right, I hope you can see this, the PowerPoint. Yeah, you can see it. Right, so all the compositions are classified according to the correlations of the separate meanings of constituent and the actual meaning of the compound. So we have such compounds as non-idiomatic. They are compounded and make idiomatic compounds where one of the components or both has changed its meaning. Some kind of a change in their meaning, both of them. What is what is not the compounds. They are compounds, meaning to non-idiomatic compounding room. Like idiomatic compounds, we can hear properly. Okay, we will just wait because there is a problem with the internet. Is it okay now? Can you hear me well?
No, teacher, you are lagging.
What about now? Can you hear me properly? Can you please tell me if you hear me or not?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, good. Now I'm going to again. So, uh, uh, so we have separate. So this is compound word. Compound word because two separately dancing in room can be correlate. Oh God, I don't know what to do with the network. I don't know. If you will have any questions about the idiomatic compounds, you will just ask me at the seminars, okay? Because I'm afraid that, oh, no, it's okay, good. Right, again. So as you may see, you may think, what is correlation? What is separate meanings? What is the actual meaning of the compound? So as the unit, every unit in the word dancing room, the dancing has its own meaning, room has its own meaning. But when being together, they may have absolutely different meaning. So here we are discussing the levels of correlation between the separate meanings of the units of compounds with the actual meaning of the whole compound. Yeah. So it can be the non-idiomatic compound where the dancing room, as in dancing room or bedroom, the word itself, as a whole word itself, bedroom, is corresponding to the units, each unit, separate unit with the bed and room. Let me just switch to Kazakh. Сонда мысалға қараңыздар. Bedroom сөзі біріккенде бір нәрсені білдіреді, иә? Бірақ та bed пен room'ді сепаративно алғанда, иә, олар, так сказать, басқа басқа нәрсені білдіреді, иә? Біз соның левелдарын қарастырып жатырмыз. Мысалы, football, иә? Football деген бірге алсақ, олардың значениесі мүлдем басқа, иә? Бірақ та, как отдельные слова, они означают совсем отдельные вещи. Но когда они вместе, они означают что-то другое. И мы смотрим, насколько значение меняется от того, насколько значение этого компаунда меняется, на каком уровне от тех двух отдельных слов. So, highly idiomatic — это когда Lady Bird, допустим, compound, оно опять не слышно. Again? Yeah, you can hear me again? Oh my God.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Why everyone is like, teacher, I can't hear me. You can hear me. I can hear you. It's okay. I think some of you guys having network problems yourselves. Yeah. Okay. Right. То есть чем выше идиоматический level у компаунда, то есть тем больше его значение отклоняется от сепаративных вот этих separate words, тем дальше отдаляется. Yeah? Например, dancing room, мы знаем, что такое dancing room, и по отдельности dancing and room, они как бы как-то могут еще означать то же, что и означает само цельное слово dancing room. А чем дальше идет idiomatic compound, чем выше оно идет, тем больше значение будет иметь другой окрас, другой meaning. Yeah. Right? Okay. Good. Now we are going to talk about shortenings. Так удобно, когда что-то объясняет на русском. Yeah, but you have to get used to English, unfortunately. Right. So shortenings, we all know about shortenings. So actually shortenings are produced in two different ways. Again, contractions and abbreviations. So what about contractions? What is contraction? Can you guys tell me what is a contraction? I know that you know what is contraction. Right? Nope.
Conjunction helps to connect some kind of independent and dependent clauses.
Oh, no conjunction, but contraction.
Contraction is the short form of word.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
a short. We kind of like put it in one. For instance, like do not, we say don't, right? Or I am not, like I am, and etc.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Thank you. And what about abbreviation? What does abbreviation mean? You know, guys, you know it. I know that you know it from your native languages. You can even speak in the language that you actually
Like
to speak
shooting
English.
a word.
Pardon? It's like
Can I, teacher?
You just like it. What did you say?
what is abbreviation?
Abbreviation is a shortened form of a written word or phrase used in place of the whole word or phrase. For example, USA is the abbreviation of United States of America.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mainly that are no, so words that are shortened. They were shortened initially and put to abbreviations. Yep, yeah, you know about it. Good. Right. We use a lot of chat ing. HB2U. What does HB2U mean? What does it mean?
Happy birthday to you.
Right. The only abbreviation I am using personally is IMHO, in my humble opinion, or SAB, as soon as possible. I don't know. Well, to be honest, yeah, you are more prominent, guys. So, the younger things. By the way, this by the way. By the way, all right. The look is called epic. For instance, we took the first syllable from the word doc and made a new word doc, or the word magazine. We just took the first syllable and used the word mag instead of saying magazine, right? This is the final clipping. And initial being apheresis, it's like the emitting of the fore part of the word. Yeah, for instance, instead of saying airplane, we just say plane. We emitted the word, the syllable, the root air here. Or phone instead of saying telephone. Yeah. Medial clipping or syncope, it's the emitting of the middle part of the word. Like instead of saying fantasy, we say fancy. Or spectacles, we say specs. Yeah, quite easy one. And mixed clipping, it's when both the fore and the final parts of the words are clipped and only the part of the word is left, like flu, influenza, or tech detective. This is all about contractions. Abbreviations is the second way of shortening. It is also used in order to make new words, and we make them from the initial letters of the word group, like the first initial letters of the word group. And we have five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have five groups of abbreviations. First is acronyms. They are acronyms. Acronyms are read in accordance within the reading rules, as though they were like kind of an ordinary words. For instance, NATO or we just pronounce them normally as a word. Yeah, we don't pronounce them NATO or UNO. We say NATO, and it's okay. Alphabetical abbreviations is the abbreviation in which letters get their full alphabetical pronunciation and full stress, like USA or GBS. We don't say USA or USA or GBS. I don't know how it is even being pronounced in an acronym way. So this is the alphabetical abbreviation. And the compound abbreviations. These are the abbreviations in which the first constituent is a letter and the second part is a complete word. A-bomb or L-driver or E-learner or T-shirt. Yeah, remember? Latin abbreviations. Yeah, we talked about them last week, remember? EGIE, yeah? ETC, good abbreviations, I love them. And yeah, and the Latin abbreviation can be run. So actually, we read them by letters, by separate letters, e.g., IE. We don't say egg or I. Last one is abbreviation. They are using it for in order to economize some room for some space, and they are pronounced as they correspond unabbreviated words. For instance, Miss, Mrs, Ltd, Limited. Yeah. So we don't say MR or MRS, Ltd. We say Miss, Mr, Limited, Ma'am, and etc. etc. So these are shortenings, types of shortenings and types of abbreviations with contractions. All right, and we also have a phenomenon which is called reduplication. So in reduplication process, new words are made by doubling a stem. So it can be either without any phonetic changes, as in blah blah, yeah, or bye bye, or with a variation of the root vowel or consonant, as in the word ping pong or chit chat, riff raff, as you may see. I think, nope, I will send you the file later on the Moodle. You'll find it on the Moodle. First group of reduplicative compounds, they are called reduplicative compounds proper. Yeah, the constituents are identical in their form, so like blah blah, goody goody, bye bye. The second type is called gradational or ablaut compounds, reduplication compounds. This type of word building is greatly facilitated in modern English by a vast number of monosyllables like chit, chat, riff raff, as you see, and others as well. Also, we distinguish rhyme compounds. Here, the constituents or affixes, as we call them, are joined to, sorry, not affixes, like additional ones, like constituents. They are joined to rhyme willy-nilly, helter-skelter. So it's like easy peasy, yeah, remember, lemon squeezy, right? This is the, and to be honest, as a stylistician, I would say that most reduplication words, they are tend to be used by informal groups like slangs, colloquialisms. Like remember walkie-talkie, the word walkie-talkie. Yeah, with phone, mobile phone, walkie-talkie. Many slang and colloquial speech are very rich for reduplications. Yeah. And the next ones, we're actually going to the Finnish formation or reversion. This is the derivation of new words or word formation of new words by means of subtracting a suffix. Subtracting the suffix is like from greed, the word greed came from the word greedy, so they just get rid of the y in the end, or lace to lace from laser. R was just subtracted somehow. So it's not like it's like it's a black formation, back formation, or no black formation, back formation, because you don't add any kind of suffixes, but you just get rid of some suffixes and get new words. This is that type of thing. For instance, if you know that the verb to beg, to beg for help, to beg for guidance, it was made from French word beggar. So it was it experienced back formation, and the word beggar became the word to beg. So like it was formed from the word to the word to beg, formed from the word beggar. Yeah, and the verb come from the word burglar, or cobble from cobbler. Yeah. In all those cases, the verbs were made out of the nouns. What happened there? Only just subtraction of suffixes er, yeah, or ar. Burglar to burgle, cobbler to cobble. Yeah, we just subtract everything. Even work and worker is also the same thing. Yeah, blending, very interesting word formation type. Yeah, is the blending is the formation of new words by means of merging the fragments of words into one new word. It's like the combinations combine the word elements with each other. Yeah. For instance, the word brunch. Brunch comes from the words drink and lunch. They just combine two words somehow. Or cinemagnate, like cinema and magnate, yeah, as you see. And we have very interesting thing which is called onomatopoeia, or sound imitation. These are the words that are made by imitating different kinds of sounds. The sounds that are produced by animals, by nature, birds, insects, any different human beings. For instance, like bow wow, yeah, or cook, like in Russian it's kukariko, right? But in English, doodle doo, yeah. The dog says quack, the frog croaks. Remember the song, which is called "What Does the Fox Say"?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the hilarious song, remember? So this hilarious song is full of onomatopoeia. Like they are imitating the sounds of animals and any kind of birds, right? And they're using a lot of onomatopoeia in the song. Yeah, so actually that is the all information that I would like to give you. We have still 13 minutes, but in that very 13 minutes, I would like to ask you some questions if you do not mind. Yeah, so now I stop talking and let's say, handing this very privilege to you, my dear students. So can you please tell me what is conversion? What is conversion? Who would like to talk upon the subject of conversion?
Well, conversion is a kind of making a new form. So, for example, we have a noun, butter. It's a noun. We can say to butter something, and it will be a verb. То есть, намазать масло в хлеб. So it's changing the category of an existing word
Absolutely
to
right.
a new category of what to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Nastya. Right. So what about morphemes? What kind of morphemes what types of morphemes do you know, guys? Do you remember?
Like the suffixes, prefixes, right? The root itself.
Yeah. And what is the difference between those morphemes?
Well, they can be free, bound, and semi-free. Like free morphemes, they can exist like separate words. For example, we have a word boy, or we have a word friend. Then bound, they cannot be used as one as the word itself. It is mainly connected with prefixes, suffixes. Like we can say dis in the word disadvantage. And semi-free, they can exist either separately or with another stem, like after. It can be a preposition and afterthought.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So this is the classification of morphemes according to structure. And what about according to semantic point? Who would like to talk on that very subject? Who would like to tell me what are the differences between prefixes, suffixes, and stems? I think it's a basic knowledge that you are learning, that you learned at school. You should know it. You can talk in any language you're comfortable with. Yeah, so что насчет префикса? Prefix turalnie comes. Suffix follows, prefixes, okay, precede. What about stem? What is the difference between stem and root?
Oh, it's like the root itself. I mean, whatever we take away the prefix or suffix, the stem will be. I mean, it will exist. It will stay the same.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Laura.
Have one base. Let's say one form.
Right. Okay. What about time sense? types of stems, guys. Types of stems. Okay, no one would like to talk about it, right? So now we will be just look at the semantic point, we'll look at structural point, but what about what kind of types? Yeah, here it is. You can have just look and tell me. Just tell me. No, you don't remember. No one would like to speak about it. Right? Okay, let's talk about
structural point, you mean?
teacher. You
Hello?
for good minutes. All good. Now, well, it seems like I'm still lagging. Can you hear me?
Now,
No,
yes,
yes.
but it was freezing.
All right, guys. So I'm not going to torture you. There is only 5 minutes left until the end of the lecture. I'm just letting you go. So I'm going to download the lecture, I hope today evening, tonight or evening or in the lunchtime. I'll see how it goes. You can re-watch it if you do not understand it. You can Google some terms if you do not understand them. Yeah, and I will also post the tasks that we will be doing, that you will do at home for the next seminar classes. For this week's seminar classes, we will be discussing the new topic as well as we will be discussing the previous week's topic, etymological side of English word stock. Yeah. Is that okay? So if you
Yes, okay, teacher.
need any kind of information, you will find it on Moodle. And if you need any resources, books, you will find them on Moodle. I will try to download everything tonight. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Take care.